So this question is a translate word problem question. We know that because of the length of the question, TWP questions are typically 4 or more lines long. And all that means is that as soon as I start reading, I'm already thinking, how do I translate this into numbers, right? How do I convert each sentence into something quantitative if I can? So the first sentence here says a hotel has a total of 180 rooms. Okay, so 180 rooms. And on a certain day, half the rooms were cleaned. Okay, so half the rooms were cleaned, which means 90 rooms were cleaned. That's my translation. There were 9 housekeepers on duty at the hotel that day. So 9, I'll say HK for housekeepers. And each housekeeper cleaned the same number of rooms R. Okay, well, if 90 rooms were clean and there's 9 housekeepers and each housekeeper cleaned the same number of rooms, that means each housekeeper cleaned 10 rooms. And the question tells us that that value is R, which means R is equal to 10. Next sentence, which of the following equations represents the information given in terms of R? Well, I know that R is 10 based upon my translation. So I'm going to just replace R with 10 in each case and see what works out. So if I replace R with 10 here, that makes this whole thing 90. 2 times 90 is 180. That's definitely true. If I make this 10, that becomes 90. Half of 90 is not 180, so that's gone. If I make this 10, that becomes 2 times 19, which is also not 180. That's gone. If I make this R a 10, that becomes 19. Half of 19 is definitely not 180. That's gone. Therefore, the only answer that actually worked was choice A. And just in case you want to see how I could have answered that without doing any of that work, the answer itself is a translation of the question, right? We have our total of 180 rooms. We have our 9 housekeepers cleaning our 10 rooms, so 9 times 10. And then we know that 2 times that value should be equal to the 180, again, because only half of the rooms were clean. So that's a little bit weird. Like you might think you should have a 1/2 in front like we have here and here. But realistically, the total number of rooms is going to be 2 times the number of rooms cleaned because the question tells us that half the rooms were cleaned. So hopefully that makes sense. And even if that last part doesn't make sense, hopefully this part makes sense with just translating the information that's provided, getting to a value of R that we know, taking that R value, plugging it in, and then solving that way.